So, would you mind sharing with our audience, how did this all start for you?
It was probably late January, February 2022. And I was out with my sister and my wife for my birthday. We were drunk. I got in a car, an Uber. It's all in my special, but, to shorten it time frame wise, I was in a car and, I felt a twinge in my balls. Sorry for the lack of medical terminology. But, what struck me was that I was drunk. And normally when you're drunk, you don't really feel pain. So this felt like a weird thing to feel pain. And I'd had a hernia like 6 years before that or something. So I knew that maybe it was a hernia and I'd been working out a lot more. So maybe I'd re-aggravated or something.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of a tour like then too. So I was like, well, a hernia I could just put off and like, I don't want to have the surgery to fix it right away. And I know it's not like life-threatening. It didn't feel life-threatening at the time. So I was like, I'll just wait. But I don't know, something about that night, I was just drunk and I was peeing. I was like, this don't feel right. Let me just go to the hospital just to see just in case I had torsion. Maybe it was like the start of torsion or something. Every guy knows what torsion. Yeah, every guy knows what torsion is. Like once you're a teenager and you're jerking off too much, like everyone knows torsion. So I was like, okay, if it's torsion, I gotta go. It wasn't like crippling, debilitating pain, but maybe it's like the start of torsion. So I was like, screw it, I'm awake. Let's go to the hospital. The doctors, I don't recall like what the ER was like exactly, but they were like, oh, yeah, if it's torsion, you wouldn't be able to talk. Like you would probably be in a lot more pain than you are now. But here we are at a top medical facility. Let's just run all the tests because you have good insurance. And so they did an ultrasound and they found like a mass, like an irregular mass or something. I was like, what the hell is that? I thought maybe it would be a benign cyst or something. But then the next morning I called NYU Urology and they were like, it's going to take 2 months to see a doctor. And I guess that's kind of standard protocol for hospitals or big medical systems. And this is something I learned from my urologist who said it to me like kind of like just off the cuff, but like he knows I've said a lot about healthcare before and he knows my angle on healthcare is that a lot of it's too business driven. And he was just like, yeah, they just make you wait probably because there's more money in the chemo than there is in the surgery or whatever. I'm like, that's fucking sinister as hell, but all right. But I was like, I'm not waiting 2 months because if this is more than just a cyst, then I want to know right away. I called my cousins. Luckily, I have a lot of doctor cousins, and they, through their connections, set me up with a urologist in New York who was able to look at the ultrasound like right away and was like, just get some blood work done just to see if it's anything more than a cyst. If it's not, then you're fine. If it is, then we can get acting on it. And I got blood work like right away. And this is like, again, within like, it was like a Tuesday or Thursday or something. And the next morning, I get the blood work ordered. The next day, I get the blood work. They expedite the results. Sunday, the doctor calls me like to wake me up. He's like, you have cancer. The blood work came back. Your HCG or whatever was elevated. And I guess in men, that's supposed to be 0 because it's the human growth hormone if you have a baby in you.
I mean, you're basically a doctor at this point.
Yes, no, exactly. And so, obviously I go into a little bit of shock.